justice, temperance, wisdom, courage. Applying ancient philosophy to modern times, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. I'm Steve, and the year anniversary of the show is coming up on April the 1st, and I'm hoping to get listeners to contact the show, and I know that people are reticent to do that, so I'm going to offer you a prize. I have a Roman coin, which appears to depict Marcus Aurelius. I'm not an expert in Roman coins, but that's what I was told when I purchased it. It looks like Marcus Aurelius, has his eyes. Anyway, it's a Roman coin with Marcus Aurelius on the front, and it has a little bit of a hole in it. I think it may have been once worn as a pendant by someone in ages past. But it's a coin from that era, and if you call the show at 501-503-3132, or if you go to the website and click on the microphone and leave me a voice message, and you tell me who you are, where you're listening from, and why you find Stoicism to be a useful philosophy, if you do that, I'll put you in the drawing, and I'll draw it a few days. I'll cut the deadline off about 2 days before the April 1st episode because I need to record that episode for release by then. So send it to me by the end of this month, the end of March 2018, and then I will draw a winner and announce it on the April 1st episode. So the phone number once again is 501-503-3132. Or you can go to sundaystoic.wixsite.com/home. You can check out a picture of the coin on my Facebook page, the Sunday Stoic page, or follow me on Twitter, and there's a picture of it there. And another way you can enter is just to record yourself on your phone or your computer and email the audio segment to sundaystoic@gmail.com. Try to make it an MP3 file if you would. Thank you. sundaystoic@gmail.com. Marcus Aurelius is always good for a good read to remind us how to deal with the stuff we run into in our everyday lives, the people we run into that challenge our patience. Here in the USA, that might be the person at the Bureau of Motor Vehicles who doesn't think you brought all the right paperwork to get your license plates renewed, or it could be the cashier at the grocery store who doesn't seem to know how to count money, or whatever it may be. Whatever it is, you run into people, your coworker at work, the guy who is always backbiting you, talking about you behind your back. There's always someone that's going to irk you, and that's normal. Even a Stoic sage might feel that first little pang of, that little irk. But the sage, or the wise person, will then remind themselves of their philosophy and apply it, and they will keep a level head and keep their cool, keep their calm, and keep their happiness intact. So I'm going to read to you readings from the Thoughts of Marcus Aurelius, Book 11, number 18. I've paraphrased it a bit to make it easier to read. But these are Marcus Aurelius's 10 rules for dealing with difficult people. Number 1. If someone offends you, start by reminding yourself that you are made for one another and that your purpose is to help them to improve. Number 2. Consider that the kind of person they are when eating, in bed, etc., and consider what their opinion may be and why they may do what they do. Number 3. If men do the right thing, we should not be displeased. If they do the wrong thing, they do so in ignorance. Nobody does what they think is wrong. They only do wrong out of ignorance. Number 4. You do too many things wrong yourself, and even if you do not do wrong things, you still have the disposition to commit them. Number 5. You do not understand if what a man is doing is truly wrong or not. You must study a man in depth before you can judge his acts. Number 6. Consider when you are angry that our lives are short and we will soon be dead. Number 7. It is our opinions, not men's acts, that disturb us. Reflect on the fact that nothing they do harms you. Number 8. Consider how much more pain is brought on by anger over events than by the events themselves. Number 9. A genuine good disposition is invincible. What will even a violent man do to you if you gently correct his actions with genuine affection? Tell him, I am not injured, but that you are injuring yourself. Show him that bees and other social animals do not behave this way, and be sure you are doing this genuinely and not to impress bystanders. Number 10. To expect bad men not to do wrong is madness. He who expects this expects the impossible. Throughout the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we are basically all a family. We all share the divine spark of Zeus, and therefore we all share in the divine reason. Or as we could think of it now, we are all part of the same species, we're all related, and we all share a duty to one another. So he says we're social animals and it's our duty to work together. So if someone's making you mad, stop for a second, take a breath and say, it is my job to work with this person. Even if they don't know it, I do. It's my job to work with this person. It's my job to at least bear them out, or if possible, to talk to them and shift them in the right direction, to show them that when they are misbehaving, they are only hurting themselves. I'm not here to shame them, to say, oh, what you're doing is so evil. Man. All right, so if you push someone the wrong way, you push them deeper into their depravity, right? You push them deeper into their old ways. But if you show them true compassion, they may well respond by changing. Show them that they're only really hurting themselves when they do the things they do, and that you're there to help them. And going along with that idea of not automatically judging people and allowing it to ruin your day, we have to remember that we don't know why people do what they do. They think what they're doing is right, or else they wouldn't be doing it. You never really see anyone doing what they know is wrong, unless part of them thinks it's right, at least, right? I'm sure we could devise some philosophical argument where someone does something they know is wrong, but usually, ultimately, it's because they're doing something that's right. Like, would you commit some atrocity in order to save your family? Some people would commit that atrocity, but in their mind, they're ultimately doing right by doing that initial wrong because they're saving their family. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. But we can't judge people because we need to keep in mind what they consider to be good, and we don't know them. We also have to remember that we ourselves are not perfect beings, and we mess up all the time, and that getting mad is usually worse than, getting mad over an incident is usually worse than the incident itself. So let it go like water on a duck's back. And if all else fails, he gives us this other condolence when you're just like, you're fed up, you can't help this person, they don't want to be helped. You're getting frustrated. You can just remind yourself, okay, in a few years, we're both going to be dead, and no one's going to remember this incident, and it won't matter to the world one tiny bit. And then you move on. Number 10 is my favorite. To expect people not to do wrong is like expecting a baby not to cry, a bird not to sing, or a drop of water not to make you wet. So to expect bad people not to do wrong is to live opposed to nature, if you will. We have to live according to nature. And when it comes to our social lives, this means not being surprised or angered when people act like people. So that's where that premeditation comes in. Remind yourself that people are going to act in ways that will potentially upset you if you're not ready for them. So don't be surprised by it. Don't be surprised when a person acts like a person. And then, if you get a chance, maybe you can help them to improve. So I like that list from Marcus. It's a good list to keep in the back of your mind. You're here to help each other. Consider who each person is, It's kind of like my dad would always say, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. So when you look at a person, if you're intimidated by them, think about them in bed, or think about them having sex or changing clothes, and you're just like, oh, they're just another idiot like me. No reason to be intimidated by that person. And we ourselves do wrong, so we shouldn't be too judgmental on others, like we said in a previous episode. Anyway, another thing I want to talk about today before we go is another bit of the Stoic garden, logic. So we'll do another logical fallacy, and that's the either-or fallacy. An either-or fallacy would be when you're trying to make an argument, or someone's arguing with you, and you throw out this either-or kind of conclusion, like, well, you can either be fascist or you can be communist. Right? Those are like as if those were the only two choices. So people will draw a line, a fake line, and pretend there's only two choices out of two extremes, and that there's no choices in between. So watch out for that argument and be careful not to make it yourselves. We want to be clear thinkers. According to the Stoics, we have the divine spark of reason in our brains. Reason allows us to engage with the world with thoughtfulness and to correct our mistakes, but we can't do that if we make logical fallacy after logical fallacy. Okay, so contact the show. Do it quick. You're running out of time. Let me know where you're listening from and why you like Stoicism. Tell me your name as well, and we'll put it on the show on the April the 1st. There's a link to the website in the show notes as well as the phone number. Check it out. Call me on your cell phone. You can use Skype or whatever. It'll ring a few times and it will go straight to voicemail. If you go to the website and click on the microphone, it'll just start recording, assuming you have a microphone plugged into your computer. No matter what, I already have a few entries, so somebody's going to win this coin. All right, catch you later. Carpe diem.